For AM Best TV, I'm Kate Smith. Insurers covering small law firms and solo legal practitioners have enjoyed a favorable run over the last several years. This marked a turn from the period between 2008 and 2011, when the housing market collapse and economic downturn led to an uptick in litigation, as disgruntled clients targeted law firms. Here today to discuss a recent AM Best report on the legal professional liability segment are Senior Financial Analyst Janet Hernandez and Senior Industry Analyst David Blades. David, can you describe the composite used in your study in terms of its scope, size, premium levels?
Our report focused on a composite of small legal professional liability insurance companies that cover smaller law firms, and meaning those law firms that are solo practitioners or firms that have up to 5 attorneys. From an overall market standpoint, small law firms can consist of law firms that have up to 30 attorneys, but in our case, the LPL insurers that we were following and that we focused on for this report are the ones that, again, focused on the solo practitioners and law firms less than 5 attorneys. These are primarily mutual insurance company organizations or single state specialty insurers that basically follow law firms where the attorneys are members of the State Bar Association and where the law firm is domiciled in the same state as the LPL insurer. Now again, while the LPL insurers followed and cover these smaller law firms, they do from time to time compete against the national insurance companies for their business. Not on an everyday basis, but from time to time they will compete with them. And from a premium standpoint, for the composite, the net written premium on an annual basis ranged from anywhere from $5 million to about $35 million, although from a median standpoint, it was about just shy of about $20 million in annual net written premium.
The report uses 2010 as a turning point. Why was that year pivotal?
The issues were related to the financial crisis, the burst of the housing bubble, and the credit crisis that ensued. So that caused an uptick in legal malpractice lawsuits, which in turn caused the uptick in the combined ratio that we see prior to 2010. And in 2010, we began to see the normalization of these claims in terms of frequency.
Looking at performance today, net income levels have been bolstered by underwriting profitability. But what role have dividends and reserve releases played in all of this?
As mentioned in the report, policyholder dividends have been on the rise since 2010 as legal professional liability insurers have been returning capital to their insureds. In fact, in more recent years, we see the policyholder dividends be about 8% of the combined ratio, which is significantly high. And the prior accident year reserve releases have been a significant contributor to underwriting profitability and is probably a factor why the legal professional liability insurers in the composite have been able to maintain such sizable dividends.
In terms of claims, what pressure points do you see as a potential drag on profitability?
Well, I think right now what we're seeing is overall for the last few years, claim frequency for LPL insurers has basically stabilized, but claim severity has been on the rise. And I think that's basically tied to claim defense costs rising over time. What we've seen is cases or claims that are remaining open for a longer period of time. Plaintiffs are showing more persistence in terms of the claims that they filed and resisting early offers of settlements to stay into the claim longer, and that's resulting in larger payments for filing motions, going back to court, et cetera. So those kind of court costs are ratcheting up overall claim severity, and that's definitely something that's pressuring the bottom line for insurers. Also, we've seen over time there's been a larger trend towards claims actually being closed without payment, and I think we've also seen a trend going the other way as far as that's concerned, where there have been an increasing number of claims that have actually resulted in payments being made. And so with that shift, you're also seeing, again, claim severity numbers going up. And so for legal professional liabilities insurers, they're seeing their their losses incurred on an annual basis increasing, and that's putting a little bit of pressure on their overall combined ratio. Although, like I said, claim frequency has been pretty stable, so that's helped to offset that. And then we also see an impact from just mergers and acquisitions. Obviously, it's a big thing in the overall business world and also in the legal professional liability world. And so conflict of interest claims that have been coming out of some of those law firms merging have impacted the LPL insurance companies as well in terms of claim costs.
So what are some of the overarching challenges then that this segment is facing?
Well, I think alternative legal service delivery, I think, is definitely a challenge, especially for the smaller law firms, because when you're looking at non-legal professionals or paralegal technicians or legal self-help websites that are offering services to individuals, a lot of the individuals that might be open to those types of services are the ones that are serviced by these smaller solo practitioners or small law firms. So if customers go that route and end up using those alternative methods, that could actually hurt the top line revenue for these law firms, and that could have an impact on overall premium value for the legal professional liability insurers. Also, there's been an increasing uptick in estate, probate, and trust claims. With baby boomers, reaching retirement age and transferring wealth within their families more and more, and we'll see that over the medium term. That's something that's yielding more claims from the standpoint of family members who are disgruntled with how the trust might have been administered, or if they're suing the lawyer who might have been involved with the family member who helped the deceased to put together the trust. Those are the type of claims that are actually on the rise, and that's something that's definitely going to pressure legal professional liability insurance, and something that we're going to continue looking at trends in that regard. And also, cybersecurity with regards to especially some of these smaller firms that might have been slow to commit resources to overall systems and things that might help them from a cybersecurity perspective, not just the law firms, but the legal professional liability insurers as well. So cybersecurity and the potential of losses that might come out of that from data breaches or breached information for the law firms that are covered by these LPL insurers, I think that's definitely something that is something on the horizon that we will continue to look at going forward, because it could have an impact on results, bottom line results for the LPL insurers.
To view a copy of this report, visit ambest.com. For AM Best TV, I'm Kate Smith.